I remember seeing one of my buddies in the gym. I used to see him very, very frequently in the gym. And the issue that I started to notice was this particular person was very inconsistent when it came to going to the gym. They would go for 2 to 3 months and then fall off, go again for 2 to 3 months and then fall off. And it got to the point where I actually called this person up. I'm like, hey man, I don't really see you at the gym that often anymore. What happened? You were doing amazing work in the gym. I could see the abs are coming in, the leanness is coming in, the strength is up. What's going on? Why do you keep on going up and down with your progress? And this person responded to me with, I just am not interested in this anymore. Every time I get the ball rolling, I tend to find that I'm not interested in making more progress, or I'm just getting tired of the same old bodybuilding routines and just going through the same nutrition. So I asked this person, if there was one problem you had to fix in order to continue, what would that be? And they said consistency. I have to get over what I feel and just go to the gym and show up. And they literally answered their own question right there. That was the answer. I just have to show up regardless of how the training feels, the nutrition feels, and do what I got to do. Of course, there's things you can do to make the process more enjoyable, but nonetheless, you're going to feel like you don't want to be doing this most of the time, right? Because it is tough. And I've mentioned this countless amounts of times that this process is tough. Many people don't stick to the gym because it's something you have to do for the rest of your life. If you want to maintain that muscular physique and you want to maintain that leanness, you got to be on top of your nutrition and you got to be on top of your training. And it's a lifestyle. I'm not going to lie to you. It is a lifestyle, and you have to make decisions that are going to cater towards your goals. That's why having a good physique is so valuable, because when people see you in shape, they think, man, this guy puts in work. This guy, he's the real deal. And that is what's so amazing about having a great physique, is that, again, people know that you had to put in some sort of effort in order to get to that shape or that build, whatever it might be. And I told this person, what do you value more? Like, what do you value more? Do you value just being kind of this softer, less built version of yourself, or do you value, the shredded, muscular version of yourself? And they're like, the shredded, muscular version of myself. I feel more confident when I'm out at work. I feel more confident when I'm talking to people, male, females, whatever it might be. I'm always more confident in myself. I feel like I could puff my chest out and be like, I'm the man. And that is the value that comes with being in shape. Now, for those of you who are in the same boat, how can you fix this issue, right? You're going to the gym consistently and you're just feeling like things are starting to get stale, monotonous, and you just don't want to continue to do it anymore. Well, here's a couple tips I would give to anybody in that boat. The first thing being, make sure that your routine is actually enjoyable. Like, make sure that you like the exercises that you're doing. You also like the amount of days that you go during the week. So what I mean by that is, let's say your schedule's packed, right? You have work, you have meetings, you have to get home to meet up with, you know, your partner or whatever it might be. You have to cater your gym schedule around that, not the other way around, right? You can't cater your life around the gym schedule. We all know that's not realistic, and everybody's got things going on in their life. So, what I tell people is to be honest and look at your schedule and find blocks within the days where you're available, right? You're going to find an hour block here, an hour block there. And once you scout out your schedule, then you could say, okay, I'm going to work out Monday, Wednesday, Friday. These are the days that I have to work out and do what I got to do, right? A lot of people try to commit to something that they know they can't commit to. They'll commit to a 6-day workout plan, and what happens? They fall off really quick because they realize it's unsustainable for their lifestyle. It's unsustainable for the amount of things that they're doing in their life. And this is the first biggest mistake that people make. And that's why they give up right away. They literally are making amazing progress. And they're like, man, this is just, I can't be bothered with this. This is just too much of a headache. I cannot do this no more. So, literally, the first step in a nutshell is do the thing you could adhere to, right? The adherence is literally the most important thing, right? I'll give you an example. I work out only 3 times a week, right? I love fitness, but I'm being real with myself and I'm like, okay, how much time do I actually have? And I only really have 3 days out of the week where I could go work out hard, work out intense, and adhere to my routine. If I try to go 4, 5, 6 times a week, I'm gonna fail, right? I'm gonna fail. I'm not gonna succeed, and I'm not gonna get closer to my goal, which is to get bigger and get leaner. So be honest with yourself. And this goes for nutrition too. Just because you see your favorite influencer eating something does not mean that you need to go out and eat the same thing, right? You could get suggestions and all these things, but a lot of people try to just do something that they really don't like to do at the end of the day. That's why I try to tell people, hey, find the thing that you can stick to for the rest of your life, right? So that you could get the results that you want to get. The second issue that I tend to see is people just generally get lazy, right? Even you could have the perfect routine, the perfect nutrition, everything. You could be on a roll and people just get lazy. Life catches on with them. They get into, a relationship, they get into, some sort of community or whatever it might be. And then they forget that they have to go train. They forget that they have to go, you know, set up their nutrition. They forget all of these things, right? And it might not quite, it may not be laziness, is what I'm trying to say, but it may be just that, hey, you're busy, and which kind of ties into the first point. But it could also come down to laziness. Hey, I got too much going on. I don't got time for this. I don't want to be bothered with going to the gym. And I just don't really enjoy it anymore, right? So it could come down to laziness. Um, and let me tell you something. I'm going to give you a little inside scoop for those who are not totally in the gym bodybuilding space. 80% of the time, roughly, right, more or less, I don't feel like going to the gym. I do it because I have to do it. If I want to look a certain way, if I want to feel a certain way, if I want my health to be in check, I got to take care of myself, right? This is the physique that you have, this is for everybody. It gives you so much power in society, right? Because again, going back to that point, people just respect you right off the bat. They think, man, this guy puts in the work. He puts in the hours. He does all the things that he needs in order to look the way he looks. This is not, a by chance thing or he got in shape by accident. This is something that you do deliberately, even when you don't feel like it, right? Because the way I look at this is you got to protect the things that allow you to do what you do. So, for example, your confidence, right? You go to the gym, you build muscle, you get lean, you build that confidence. What happens when you're a slouch potato? You don't prep your food, you don't go to the gym. You start to dwindle into this softer version of yourself and you become less confident in yourself, right? You got a bit of a belly, you got, fat on your arms, whatever it might be. You got a double chin and you feel like I just don't feel the same way as I used to when I was going out there before and training and doing all the things I got to do. So most of the time, I don't feel like showing up. I don't feel like showing up. You know what I do? I put my clothes on my bed and I tell myself, hey, I'm waking up early tomorrow. I'm going to have my backpack ready. I am going to have my clothes ready. I'm going to wake up, get freshened up, brush my teeth, do what I got to do, and head straight to the gym. It's non-negotiable. I literally just go whether I feel like it or, I don't feel like it. So you got to have that kind of mentality. And let me tell you something, it is so rewarding, especially in those times when you do it, when you don't feel like doing it. It is the most rewarding thing, especially after a tough session. You're like, man, I'm done with this part of the day, right? I literally don't have to worry about this for the rest of the day. And it is the most satisfying feeling. And it gets the day rolling in the right direction. Hey, I did something tough, right? With that being said, I don't want this to be a crutch, right? Let's say, hypothetically speaking, you miss a day in the gym. I don't want it to be like, oh, I ruined the rest of my day. I can't operate now. I didn't do the thing that I, set for myself. I can't continue with the rest of the day. That's not what I'm suggesting. But what I do suggest is go out and do something tough, because you're going to feel like I could literally conquer anything. As corny and cliche as that sounds, you feel that way. You feel like, man, I'm on top of the world. And you get this good energy about yourself. You get this confidence about yourself. And it is unmatched. And in my previous video, I talked about, earning your dopamine versus just getting easy access to dopamine, right? We all know the easy access stuff. I'm not going to go into it. Fast food, I'll give you that for example, but a lot of people just like easy access. Hey, I want to get something that makes me feel good really quick. When you go and earn the dopamine, it just feels so much better, without a doubt. So, if you're an individual that is struggling to show up to the gym due to laziness, or you just can't structure things out, whatever it might be, you need to start asking yourself these important questions. Why am I failing to show up to the gym? What is it? Is it an enjoyment problem? Is it a laziness problem? Is it a structure problem? What is it? And you need to get to the bottom of it immediately, because you are holding yourself back from showing up, being confident, having people look at you in a positive light. All of these things you're leaving on the table, right? Because when you take care of yourself, you eat good, you train good, you feel good, right? And it literally spreads, right? This positive energy spreads and people acknowledge it. They notice, man, this guy's putting in the work. I could tell this guy's confident and he has some qualities that most people don't have. And man, that is going to get you so much further in life than not taking care of yourself. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you liked it, drop a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in the next one.